Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Project Ozone 3. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Today we're going to start the episode by trying to go to the end, and the reason that I'm trying to make a lot of dark steel is that I'm not sure if I want to make an enchanter and upgrade my armor for the Ender Dragon. Actually it's extremely cheap, so I think it's a nice decision to make one. Well, I did say it's going to be very cheap, but the problem is I was not counting the dark steel we're going to need in order to make a protection for book, so that's 4 stacks of dark steel. And we also have mending, because, experience is almost free. I forgot to mention why we need to go to the end and get a chorus fruit. The reason is this capacitor, because it's going to need a melodic capacitor, which requires a melodic alloy ingot, which requires a chorus fruit. We have all the rest, except the chorus fruit. So, hi. And we need this capacitor in order to make the enriched alloy from mechanism, which we are going to use in order to upgrade the circuits. That's the whole point. And we need this guy in order to make the drive from applied energistics. Alright guys, we have a decent bow which is power 5, infinity and empowered 5. We do have our sword, we do have some EFLNs, some bottles, so that we can get the dragon breath and ender air. We do have food and we have some golden apples. So we should be fine, I guess. And no? Can I go? No? Okay. That was very scary. Why would you spawn me in that? Not the best place. I just missed. Okay. This is going to be easy. And the last one. Now we can kill her. Oh, you zoom. You jerk. I hate that. Why can't I hit him? I hate this zoom ability. I really hate it. We have some dragon breath and can we land a few hits? Why are you being healed? Okay, I am back from the end and I just realized what did I get myself into, because the amount of crafting that I have to do is just stupid. The melodic capacitor, we're going to need it in order to make the capacitor, which is used in making the enriched alloy as well as the 4K storage cells. So we are going to need at least 32 of these guys, half a stack. And in order to make this guy, we're going to need the alloys, which themselves are relatively expensive. And then we're going to need these capacitors, which the recipe for these guys is also not that easy. And we need a lot of them. So I don't know where to start. Oh, and by the way, the prismarine crystals, I thought we were screwed on them, but we're not. We just need to pulverize prismarine shards, and I'm making them. I just did a rough calculation and I thought I would share it with you guys. So if I want 1 stack of melodic capacitors, I'm going to need 2 stacks of crystalline capacitors, 4 stacks of energized capacitors, 8 stacks of endergenic silver capacitors, 16 stacks of silver capacitors, and 32 stacks of grainy capacitors. And all of these. So I'm screwed. And by the way, this is not the cheaty part. You actually need that in order to get into applied energistics, and I'm extremely confused. How are you supposed to get that? It does have an ENC, but that's far, far away. This is not the time to lose hope. We need to start crafting because we need a bajillion items. My main problem is if I need 32 stacks of these guys, that means I need 64 stacks of red alloy ingots. And those guys are very slow. We need to increase our industrial output by a huge amount, and we're going to need a bajillion machines. And by bajillion, I'm not joking. We're going to need a lot of them. So I thought we will start by making more solar panels to get more RF. We have the arc furnace, and this guy will help us to get red alloy ingots at a very fast rate. The problem is it required a lot of power, so I had to make a lot of these solar panels. And that also gave us another quest. Anyway, you cannot make electrotin ingots in that, so I still have to use the kiln. Yeah, that's still very slow. We don't need it for the capacitors, but you know, in general. I went through all the pieces of redstone that we got from sieving, and now I'm using everything we got from our mob farm. This used to be 5000. Another thing that we need in very large quantities is grains of infinity, and we need them a lot. So I spent some time trying to understand how am I going to automate them using redstone and, you know, fire starters and so on. And then I remembered there is a block called igniter from Random Things. It's basically cobblestone, flint and steel, and netherrack. And you just set it to keep ignited, and it does not need a piece of redstone. And we just get grains of infinity. I have chunk loaded this place, right? Yeah. This is just a small progress update so that you guys know where do I stand. Well, I went through tons of resources. We still have plenty, but I don't know how long I can keep it up. But I did manage to make 1 stack of energized capacitors, which is this guy. And now we need to upgrade this guy into a crystalline capacitor, which requires a crystalline alloy ingot. And a crystalline alloy ingot requires grains of pisality, which requires pulsating crystals, which requires all of these. And we need a few stacks because apparently this is Kappa mode. So we need to make pulsating crystal. 1 stack of pulsating crystal, 1 stack of grains of pisality, and 1 stack of crystalline alloy. And all of those resources will translate to only 32 of the crystalline capacitor. And then if we want to make the melodic capacitor, we only get 16. And it's so nice, you have to do this one by one. And if we drop all of this stuff inside our compressor, we should get this capacitor. I hope. And that's only 16. We need hundreds of these. I don't know how we're going to get that. But at least the good part is we can start making enriched alloy and start upgrading these guys. Everything I did until this very moment, and yes, I did make extra machines because 4 alloy furnaces are not enough. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's the exact same route that you also have to take in order to get into applied energistics, even if you opt for going to the Twilight Forest, go through Botania and get the inscriber presses. I had to go a little bit more extra steps in order to get this and atomic alloys, and the reason for that is this machine. This is a modular machinery from the modular machinery mod, and it's called a laser cutter. It will give us the circuits without the inscriber press, so it's quite faster. But it's not complete, and we are going to need a few pieces of lasers from mechanism itself. So we need to make this and convert it into reactor glass, and then I need to start making lasers. Okay, I think we have everything we're going to need in order to make the lasers. First off, we are going to need you, 3 of you, in order to make the crystal matrix, laser focus matrix. We need 5 of these, but that's the recipe, you get 1 extra. Then we need to make 3 of these laser amplifiers and its mechanism, so of course you have to do it one by one. And then we need mechanism laser acceptor, 3 of them. If we put 5 of you down here and you 3 on the top, you should be a complete machine. Yes, it is. Cool. And it just needs lasers, and I still have a bunch of crafting to do, so I'll be right back. But just out of curiosity, if I put items inside, will you work? Apply mechanism laser. Okay, of course not. Aha. We just need to wait for daytime, because we're out of power. Actually, while we're waiting for morning, I thought we could do something relatively useful. We're going to need some blaze rods. 200, yeah, that's not 200. Okay, I need more. Wait a minute, that is 200. Okay. And since we have 300 RAKs, I was hoping that we go and purchase this sword. Thank you. So this one is garbage, but the next tier one should be awesome. I think. Yeah, the next tier one has looting 6, but it requires us to go to Erebus. And I think this one is the OP one, which has like looting 10. There is a totem of bone mealer, and I'm not sure if this guy will help us in order to get into AgriCraft. Oh, it's morning. Cool, cool. This is the moment of truth. If it doesn't work, I'm screwed. What? It worked! Yes! This is indeed a great news at a very important time because I'm running low on resources and I could not keep this up. So we're going to make a few inscribers and start making the processors until I go to the nether, gather some cobalt and gather some landium. We need conduits. So this is a very stupid way of making all of the processors, but I don't have that much resources to automate it anyway. And if we provide you with power, you should start working automatically. It's nighttime, okay. Oh yeah, it should work. Yeah, it's working. Great. You just need to set item filters. Silicon goes from the bottom, the circuit goes from the top, and redstone goes from here. I still don't know how we can extract it. Can we extract it from the bottom? No. From the front? Yeah, okay, from the front works. We have processors. Yes! It's not a quest. By the way, I forgot to mention that if you want pure Certus quartz, you're gonna have to put Certus quartz dust in an enrichment chamber. And it's very slow. And also it will give you like a ratio of 1:1, so if you want to start making the storage components, it doesn't really matter if you use the pure version or the normal version, so because you're not dabbling it. Alright guys, as it stands, we should be able to make a very basic ME system, maybe with a few storage cells. But the problem is I'm very low on resources, I'm out of oil almost. I should be able to process these into LPG, because you know there is a recipe for it, but I would also prefer to go to the deep dark, gather more resources, also go to the nether and get more landium, because I think we are out. Yeah, we have only 11. So I'll go do some mining and then I'll be back so that we can set up the ME system. I have everything, right? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been grinding for this for the past few episodes. And now we're being rewarded. So I do not have that many of these capacitors left, so we're going to make as much as we can of the 4K ones. And as much as 16K ones, and we can make 164K. Where do I put it? And a bajillion of these, but I'm not sure if I should make them right now, because I don't have more capacitors. So that might have to wait. And I guess we will have some 1K storages here, and whenever I make more capacitors, we will have 16 or 64Ks on the top. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Our only problem is, it's nighttime. The sun is rising, we have RF, and we can just dump everything inside. I'm so happy. Actually, emptying these guys is taking a lot of time. What if we break it? What will happen? Should I do it? Yeah. Okay, yeah. And everything is burning. I have some blaze powder somewhere and it's burning the platform. They say that the distance between insanity and genius is measured only by success. We have been successful in making an ME system, so you are free to make your own conclusion based on that statement, as long as it's the correct conclusion. Anyhow, I did say that I'm not going to fill in the other drive with 1K storage cells, but the problem is we're playing Kappa mode and we have tons of garbage. So if I didn't make them, we didn't have enough space. So was the grind worth it or not? Well, personally, I think it was, because you still have to do all of these in order to get into applied energistics, even if you go through the mystical agriculture route. The only extra step that I had to take was that guy. So I think it was worth it. We're out of resources, but you know. I also thought that since we have achieved our goal, we should start making a base. This is going to be our block palette because it's relatively cheap and I can afford it right now. Later on, maybe we'll get more exotic, but for now, this will have to do. I'm not very happy with the walls, even though I tried to have some color variation and, added some slopes somewhere. It's very plain. We might add something to it later on, but for now, I have other projects in mind. Oh, and by the way, I did start making a grass patch so that we will get passive mobs, and I was hoping to get some fluid cows, but we're just getting normal cows which give us milk. I was hoping that one of those fluid cows will be an oil cow and we will have plenty of oil, but that did not happen. Eggs. Nice. There is absolutely nothing to see here. Nothing happened. I swear. I need the feathers. I also started with AgriCraft, and my choices might sound very weird to you, but the thing is we are going to need to make synthetic oil. And the way that we get that is through biodiesel, and it requires ethanol and plant oil. Plant oil you will get it from hemp seeds, or any seeds, but hemp is the best. And ethanol you will get it from sugarcane. I'm trying to make the seeds 10-10-10 so that we will get the best yield, and I'm cheating my way through because we cannot make a watering can in order to accelerate the growth. But the ring of growth was cheap. And we have RF. And I just have to stay here and they will grow. I say that I have to just stay here and they will grow and nothing happens. This is very embarrassing. Don't embarrass me, please. Well, at least that one grew. Not this one. For those of you who are new to modded Minecraft, you should know that AgriCraft is basically a farming mod and it will give you crops which will grow faster and they will have better yield. And the way it works is relatively simple. You just need to start with a seed, and luckily I have one with me. You analyze it in a seed analyzer and wait. Once it is complete, you will see that every seed will have 3 attributes: growth, gain, and strength. Growth determines how fast your crop will grow, gain is how much yield you will get, and strength is resistance to parasites, I don't know, weed or whatever, which is disabled in this mod pack anyway, but once you're upgrading them and forcing them to mutate, you will get strength 10 anyway. You're going to need 1 crop stick, you plant the seed, and then it will grow, and you can also help it to grow. And when you want to force it to mutate, you just have to add 2 more crop sticks, or you just hold shift and get a pebble. So over time the wheat will grow to this slot and it will have an increased attribute, and the more you go, it will mutate to something better. You can never get worse, so if you just make a line like this, you will eventually get a seed which is 10 by 10. And it's going to be amazing. Sometimes you can also mix and match some of the crops in order to get a new crop. So here we have wheat, and if we have beetroot here and have sand here, we will get sugarcane. That's how I got those. I just checked the seeds and the sugarcane is 987. So if we plant it again, we should have a 10-10-10 very soon. And the industrial hemp is 1048. So we put you back. The gain on hemp does not go over 5. I guess it makes sense, half the plant is missing anyway. But the sugarcane is 10-10-10, and next episode we should be able to have oil. We will work on that. Alright guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. I want to spend some time on building and try to have some... Okay. And try to make a few platforms and maybe move some of the stuff from our stupid platform over here to somewhere more organized and permanent. We will see how it goes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.